Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 24 of the Lawrence History Project. I'm Mark Palermo. I'm here with my co-hosts, Mr. Tom Delisle, photographer extraordinaire, and with Mr. Joseph Bella, who is the extraordinary local historian whom we value so very much. And what do we got today, guys? What are we going to be talking about? I think we're going to be talking about the showcase cinemas. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Can we have the first one, Cassie, the first slide, please? Remember this?
Yep.
They built this, Tom. I don't know if you remember this. We were in the 8th grade. And I think we went on a field trip here.
Whoa, I don't remember that.
And we saw The Sound of Music. Mm-hmm. And it was the modern showcase cinema. It represented a new era in movie theaters because, don't forget, like in the 50s, all the movie theaters went out. The old-fashioned ones went out because of television. And so they had to come up with something new. This was a new take to try to keep the industry moving. And it did last. It's still going now. Multiplex theaters. This was the first one in the greater Lawrence area where you could actually, there'd be 5 or 6 movies playing at the same time. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that?
Oh, I remember, yeah. I remember seeing The Godfather there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, 1,200 seats, and there wasn't an empty seat in the house. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you had guys coming in suits with their wives. Yeah. Men in their 40s and 50s.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing Jaws in the first showcase across the street.
That was, the first, because that was the second one, right? That shot.
Oh,
that we
really?
had.
Yeah.
I think that was the second one.
Second, because I think Jaws is, 50 years now? Close to 50.
Yeah, 50 years ago,
Yeah. That was at the old showcase of the first one.
Going up the hill, it would have been on the right.
Yeah.
That was on the left, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's gone now, I think. Is the building gone, Tom?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think they knocked it down recently, within the year.
I think I went by there. I think it's gone, yeah. It looks fun. I still think of it as modern. I mean, it just shows. It was like 60 years ago.
Yeah.
It was quickly 60 years ago.
Compared to the other, the Palace and the Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They were more ornate, but they're having the, multiple screens.
Yeah.
That was big time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is Robert Frost's wife. They were both co-valedictorians.
Yes.
In the 1890s sometime. I was reading it. We haven't done anything on Robert Frost yet. We really should. We've done some of the big personalities. Mm-hmm. So we did Robert Goulet.
Yeah.
Leonard Bernstein, Ferdinand de Mera. That was a really interesting one.
Mm.
We haven't done anything on Robert Frost, and I don't know why. We really should.
We could, I have some shots of the Salem farm and his Vermont farm.
Well, he always liked to tout the fact that he was a farmer, but he didn't seem to like it very much. And when he went to England to make his fame, and he went out and he said, I'm a farmer, a New England farmer, and they kind of believed him. Well, he wasn't lying. He just tried it a few times. I don't think he liked it. It's hard work.
Yeah.
But that was his wife. She was pretty. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to get married. I think what happened was they both went to college, and he being his parents were real strict Yankees, he went to a very conservative college. Her college, though, was a little bit more free. And in those days, freedom meant this radical ideas, vegetarianism, free thought, and free thought was not too far away in their minds from free love. So she liked it. He wanted to come home and get married. She liked it. Mm-hmm. And she finished the whole 4 years, and he kept wanting to get married, and then finally he broke her down to resistance to get married. There's a lot of human story behind that. There's quite a lot of drama in his life, and it would make a great
that would
maybe a whole 1 hour special.
He deserves one.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
Local boy he was a chicken farmer, I think, right?
I'm not sure.
How much could you make being a chicken farmer back then?
Yeah.
He liked to write poetry.
Yeah. They're famous. I remember, Tom, and Kennedy's, JFK's inauguration. We were down in your basement. And I remember him giving a speech.
Yeah.
He gave the speech,
Yeah.
the poem. I think he read a poem at JFK's. That was 1960. Wow. Do you remember that? Yeah.
I remember, and he was, and they were worried because he was he was very elderly then.
Yeah.
And it was a very windy day.
Yeah.
And he had it written out like you.
Yeah.
And I thought,
It was January.
Can the old man pull it off? Yeah, January.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought
And
there
he
was a snowstorm, I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a
Might have been.
snowstorm?
Something.
Yeah.
Very cold.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
And he put it in his pocket, and he memorized. He recited it. So he showed him he still had it.
Yeah, oh, yeah. My favorite of his is The Road Not Taken.
That's a
Yes.
good one, yeah.
Oh, I love that one.
What's everything? Nothing gold can stay.
Nothing gold.
That's a big favorite of his fans too. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just 8 lines. It's gorgeous. Next, what do we got? What's next here? Oh, here's a picture of Robert Frost.
The man.
Yep, good-looking guy.
Yes. Looks like a poet.
Yeah, he
Yeah, he
does.
does,
Yeah. Concerned the wife was a little bit too free. Those ideas. He got her home. I don't know if their marriage was always happy. Well, no marriage is always happy all the time, but there were some conflicts with two very strong personalities. It's bound to be.
Bound to be.
Yeah. Now, that doesn't look too different today.
No.
Just the facades are different. All the buildings are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the corner of Amesbury Street and Essex. Yeah. And judging from the cars, I'd say that's probably mid-1960s.
Yeah. Looks
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Maybe late 60s.
Taken from probably Grant's.
Oh, yeah.
And in front of
W2 Grants, yeah. Now, the large building to the left of the screen was Caps.
Yes.
And Caps was you notice there's like Roman arches. They really made it classy. By then, Lawrence was starting to look pretty seedy. But Caps was an elegant men's store. People used to come from Boston to shop at Caps. Caps was the most expensive men's clothing around. They did eventually move it to Andover, and I don't know if it's still there or not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Right downtown.
I think they closed.
Now, we used to get the Cub Scout uniforms. Was either a Caps or McCartney's. I always forget.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it was a Caps.
McCartney's was another.
That was on the
men's
Grant
store.
side.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
By the Clatter,
yeah.
sort of the Clatter end.
Yeah.
And there used to be a supermarket there, I think, at A&P, right in the corner of Amesbury and Essex Street.
I seem to
It
remember
was like a
something.
Stop and
yeah.
Shop or a small A&P.
Maybe a Kennedy Butter and Egg Company. That was a chain. They had that downtown
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Kennedy's.
Kennedy's, the probably
In
one.
the summer you walk by, you can smell the peanut butter.
Yeah, they made their own peanut butter.
Oh,
They did.
Yeah.
Again, the backstories.
In the summer
yeah.
you can smell it walking by.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're blindfolded, you knew where you were
Yeah.
automatically.
Yeah.
Peanut, I smell
As long as
peanut.
Mr. Peanut wasn't there.
Oh, remember?
That's a story. We'll save that story for Joe's Mr. Peanut story for another time.
Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut, that's another story in itself.
Nightmare Alley.
Did you send me that picture, Joe? That looks like could that be the brass rail? That's on Valley Street, though.
I think
don't-
I sent that from the archives. That's in either Tribune or Arc, but it was from the archives.
That's Valley Street, and they had tons of tenements like this. There's just hundreds and hundreds of streets of tenements like this.
Yeah.
This is Valley Street is near Northern Essex Community College, the Lawrence campus. Right next to Northern Essex, there's a housing project. It's a project that was put in the 60s, and they took out Valley Street. They took out the whole street to put that project in.
Yes.
But that was Valley Street. They had some rough bars up on Valley Street.
Hayes Tavern was around there, I think.
Hayes
on
Tavern was
Broadway.
on Broadway, but this was on Valley Street. This was the brass rail. They could call it the bucket of blood. There's always fights, stabbings.
Oh, yeah.
You don't go in there unless you want to get beat up.
Yeah.
The Mayfair and Pinky's.
Pinky's, yeah. Pinky's was around there.
Pinky, they were all like within the same block. Yeah. They're really rough characters. They're just rough characters. I don't know why anybody would want to go out
I know.
and get beat up, but some people do.
Yeah.
There's
Some
a great
people-
shot from the archives of Pinky's
Oh,
with
yeah.
a woman who looked like she ran the whole business with a couple of rough characters. And it reminds you of the line from the Dylan song, ain't gonna work on Maggie's farm no more. Everybody says Ma's the brains behind Pa. And we'll show that one another time. She looked like
Oh, we
the
got to
toughest
see
character.
that. Oh,
She was alpha. She
we
was
got to
alpha,
see
this
that.
woman.
Yeah.
Pinky.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Thank you.
Yeah, my uncle used to play drums in the brass rail, and he said, "Oh my God, there's like fighting, stabbings, constantly cops down there."
He was a great jazz drummer.
Oh, he was. Yeah.
He was
oh
amazing.
my God. Yeah. Oh my God, he really was.
Oh, the
wow,
Capri.
the Capri.
Oh, boy.
I tried to get some information on the internet on the Capri. Unfortunately, even ChatGPT, I said, ChatGPT, this is the internet on steroids. Even they come back and said, we can't really get much information because it was a pre-digital era. But from what my father told me, he says, this is a really elegant nightclub. People come from Boston to come to the Capri. And they had some headline. I think Tony Bennett started the Capri.
Jerry Vale played there every month.
Jerry Vale.
Every month, and I couldn't.
Every month?
I couldn't get in because I was only 12.
Yeah.
11,
Yeah,
12. I was too young.
Couldn't.
Jerry Vale. I mean, these are.
At least every month.
Wow.
Yeah.
He played the Feast one year,
Yeah.
and I got a CD, and he signed the CD. I think I
did
have
he?
a shot of him.
Oh, nice.
Jerry Vale.
Jerry
You know,
He had a good set of pipes.
Frank Sinatra used to envy him. He said, that guy can sing. And Sinatra used to sing.
Yeah.
No, he did. He just, the melodious voice, soaring.
Effortless, too.
Oh, yeah. It was a
Him
great
and like
range.
Dean Martin, just
Oh,
effortless.
Yeah. Amazing.
The
Yeah,
Capri.
Jerry Vale. But my father said, that was you wore a tuxedo to go there, or a sport coat.
Yeah.
You couldn't even get in if you don't have a sport coat and tie.
No.
You wouldn't let you in.
No.
Yeah. Those are the days. Yeah, elegance and formality. It's not like nowadays. Everything is informal.
Yeah.
The world is becoming one great big Walmart. I'm afraid.
know it.
Yeah. Next, gotta be careful what I say here.
Strip mall, big strip. One big strip
Call
mall.
from an attorney from Walmart.
Yeah.
This is from the archives. It just said Concord Street and Broadway. I'm just wondering, is that Larry Cedarcrest on the right?
I think it is.
It looks
Yeah.
like
It
it.
looks like it, yeah.
And their car's a 58 Chevy, so it's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
50s.
Yeah, it
57,
looks like the
58.
Cedar Crest.
They must have put in the diner, the lunch cut at a later point. Because, it doesn't look like there's a lunch cut.
So we're looking down Broadway,
Right?
Is that the facade or is that the side? That's the side, I think.
It's a side.
Is it the
I
side?
think it's a side.
It said Concord Street and Broadway. I got it from the archives.
Right.
But I think it is Larry's, or whatever. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, Larry Cedarcrest was a staple in Lawrence for years and years. I mean, people used to go in there. You see famous people sometimes.
Yeah.
Jacqueline Kennedy used to
Yeah.
go in there when her son was at Phillips Academy.
The restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She wouldn't be at the counter.
No.
She would be in the
no,
diner
no,
side.
no.
No.
In fact,
Yeah.
before they closed, I had the last meal there at the restaurant.
You did.
Is that right?
And they closed the next day.
Wow.
You were the kiss of death, Joe.
The last meal, the last supper. I
The last
What did you have? Do you remember?
think it was fish.
Yeah.
It was a fish thing. It was good.
Did you
Yeah.
have apple pandowdy for dessert?
Maybe.
Remember apple pandowdy? That was a staple.
Yeah.
The restaurant was pretty nice and formal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really nice. Fireplace. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Then there was a fire there. Remember, there was a fire on the nice side, and they saved that painting of Rockport, motif one.
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
above. I think it was scorched a little bit, but they were able to save it.
Yeah.
And when they retrofitted everything, they put it back up over the fireplace.
Oh, bees.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Bee's Sandwich Shop on Broadway.
On
Huh?
Broadway. 1 block up, 1.5 blocks up.
Yeah.
Veal cutlets.
Oh,
Known for their veal cutlets.
delicious.
Which
So-
are probably pork.
But I was just thinking pork is veal anyway, isn't it?
No, veal is like a.
Lamb, yeah.
No, it's a cow, like a calf. It's calves.
Oh, okay,
Calf.
okay. Yeah,
Young cow.
Young cows.
Yeah.
Veal. Yeah.
Veal.
So the beef's cutlet was actually a pork cutlet.
Most likely,
Yeah.
because the veal was too expensive.
Yeah. And of course the famous sauce sandwiches.
Plus sauce sandwich.
For 10 cents, they would give you full Italian roll
Yeah.
with sauce on it. Well, the sauce was absolutely delicious and it was loaded with meat. It was a whole meal for a dime. You know, if you're hard up on money, if a dollar bill looks as big as a window shade, well, that's your place.
Yeah.
There was a diner just up across from the Pepsi plant going north on Broadway.
Methuen.
Yeah, right before Methuen. I think it started with an L. But they'd have breakfast, 3 eggs, toasted coffee for 39 cents.
Oh, was that on Broadway?
On Broadway.
Oh, I know that. That's Peralt's.
Peralt's. Diner. Peralt's.
Oh, yeah.
3 eggs. 3 eggs.
3 eggs.
Toast and home fries.
Toasted and home fries and coffee. 39 cents.
39 cents,
Wow.
yeah. 39 cents. I
Those
remember
days
that.
are gone.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was probably about late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
That was a
Peralt's.
bargain back then.
Yeah.
Believe me. I was going to college back then.
Yeah.
And I didn't have much money. I used to frequent that place quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
39 cents for breakfast.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Medieval.
Yeah. Okay, next. Let's see. Peralt's Diner, yeah. Now, I happen to get this from the archives, and it didn't have anything. It said on it, what did it say? Bleaching House. Bleaching House Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine working in a, not just chemical vats, but bleach?
Bleach.
Yeah.
Bleaching.
Their lungs.
Yeah.
Their nasal passage.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Chlorine, the stuff they use for bleach, that was used in World War I as poison gas.
Yeah.
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 They say, some people say you're not even really supposed to take a shower too long and breathe all that vapor in and everything, because you really, if you're from a chlorinated water city like Lawrence,
Yeah.
where you're breathing in chlorine gas, it's something to think about. But can you imagine what a job that is? Oh my
It's
God!
so young.
They probably didn't live very
so
long. Poor kids. Next one, please. What do you guys know about? I remember parades, public functions. They
Yeah.
always had the Italian colonial band, uniformed. What do you guys know anything about them?
I don't. They'd still appear at the feast, because I have shots in the late 70s, and the band is still a marching band.
Still to this
At the
day.
feast. Now I don't. It's Sal Erna. It's not the Italian colonial band. I don't know if he maybe inherited some of those players.
Possibly. Yeah.
I know Sal just retired from 60 years at the feast after the 100th. This was the first year in 60 years that his band wasn't there.
No. I think I have an old photograph of the Italian colonial band, 8 by 10.
Oh wow!
I think it goes back to 1910, maybe 19.
So it's been around that long.
Yeah, Italian colonial band. Mm-hmm. And they might have been on that same street, on Elm Street.
On Elm Street.
At the time.
Because that was one of the last buildings to get knocked down. I have a shot.
Yeah,
Again, urban renewal,
Right.
and that's the last man standing on that whole block.
yeah. So the picture would be before that happened. It was an early black and white picture of the band. And it had a drum. The drum had their name on
Yes, that's at the archives. Was that one of your donations to the archives?
maybe.
Because they have that. I have a shot of that from
do
the
you?
archives.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll get a little.
Oh, I
show
got
together.
it from them, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else do we have, Cassie? There's a picture of the mills. Now you say, well, the mills were built in the 1880s, 1890s. It was before electricity.
Yeah.
It's a good question. What did they use for power? Well, you'll notice over here, see the belts.
Yeah.
See all the leather belts. They used the leather belts to transmit power mechanically, just through a series of pulleys from falling water.
Yeah.
So they ran all those, they produced all that product without any electricity.
No.
And you have to wonder, could they make that work today? could that be economically feasible to run in a massive, all these mills
Yeah.
without electricity?
Well, it was hydroelectric. That's why the dam was so, the falls.
Well, nowadays, but in the 1890s, I don't think they were using hydro, were they?
Yeah.
I think they were using
the
the
falls
valves.
in Lowell.
Yeah, water power.
The water power, the falls in Lowell, they had diverted the Merrimack,
Yep.
and the drop was only maybe 12 feet compared to the Lawrence Falls, which was, 2 or 3 times that high.
Yeah, 30 plus.
30 plus feet.
Yep.
That must have been brilliant to be able to map the originators, to be able to map all the water.
They
you
did
know,
canals,
falling water,
North
the
and South
canals.
Canal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no computers, just all maths and
Only
algebra.
the wood mill was built later.
Yeah.
And so wood mill with electricity and steam, and they didn't need the water power. So the South Canal ends way before the North Canal does in size.
Okay.
It's much smaller. In fact, it ends right with the air mill, right before the air mill. The South Canal ends. It wasn't needed. They had electricity at the time
Right. That's the
for the wood mill and air mill. They didn't need the canals.
And the gears on Canal Street, they're all rusted. The patina on it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Those things will last as long as the pyramids. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Get some shots of
It's
that.
still there. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Now you notice the German folkloric uniforms, the girls.
Yeah.
This is the Turn Hall.
Yeah.
So on Park Street.
Yep.
Yep. They're lederhosen.
Yeah, they were. This was built in the 1880s by the Germans.
Yeah.
That was the German area up around Park Street, Upper Park Street.
From the Assumption up towards Berkeley Street
Yeah, the Assumption Church was a German church, all the way up. Yeah, all the way up.
and Jackson.
All Germans, and they had their, their beer hall and their Wiener Schnitzel, and they celebrated their culture.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
And Staperopost, the Polish were in that area. They were
Oh,
very
that's right.
close,
Yeah.
Near the Hood School and the
Yep.
Thorndike Street, I think.
Yeah.
It's Thorndike. Monmouth. I would say.
And going down Park Street towards Broadway, that was Polish, I believe. That Polish also.
Yep.
Recognize this guy? Guy on the right?
No.
This is the most enigmatic thing I've ever seen. And all the time I've been doing the Lawrence History Project.
Wow.
The guy on the right is Tony Despirito.
Oh.
You ever you say the name? Say, well, I think I heard of him. This guy was probably he was. Let me just read. This is from Sports Illustrated. He died when he was 39.
Wow.
I'll read this headline from Sports Illustrated when he died. At 16, Tony Despirito won a record 390 races. Whoa. At 39, he was dead. In between, he had a lot of Cadillacs, a lot of women, and a lot of bad luck. What a great byline, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, like the old journalists say, get the lead right.
Wow.
Wow.
300 something. That's amazing.
390 races
Wow.
before he was 17.
Yikes.
He was on board to be not one of, but the best jockey of all time.
Whoa.
You may have heard of Eddie Arcaro. There's a couple of others.
Yeah.
Household name. He was going to be a household name. I was reading up about it. We have to do a half hour on him because this is like his star rose so quickly. It was a rags to riches to rags story. But when he rose, it was like by the time he was 17, he had 17 Cadillacs.
Wow.
17 Cadillacs. He had women like, he was a rock star. This is a kid from Lawrence. And what's more amazing to me and what's more enigmatic is I remember my father mentioning him several times. And I remember my father and my uncles talking about him. But not in a way like you would talk about a sports figure like Mike Tyson or who's the golfer?
Mickey Mantle or
Mickey Mantle.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. Like they're some kind of monolithic, figure. talked about him like he was one of them. So, well, he, you know,
Local boy makes
a local boy, like he knew it, like they knew him.
Yeah.
I think, don't forget, he came up in this little Italy, just like they did.
Yeah.
Only my father and my uncles, they were born in the 20s. And he came along a lot later. He was born in the mid-1930s.
Yeah.
So they saw him as the kid.
Yeah.
But they also had a sense of frustration about him, that he did not end so well. He had tons of money. At one point, he was in Florida. He was still 17. He was in Florida. He won a race, and they flew him to New York that weekend to be on the Ed Sullivan Show. Ed Sullivan introduced him. This is a Lawrence kid.
Yeah.
And I get the same, whoever you ask, you ever heard of Tony Despirito? Even an expert like Joe would say, gee, I think I've heard of him. And nobody knows who this guy is. And this guy is a superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why is he so forgotten?
Maybe because he didn't end that well.
I don't know.
He deserves, though, to be
Oh, he deserves to be. This guy's to be
recognized.
I mean, there's a couple of stories I read about him. He was such a sure thing. One time at Rockingham, twice this happened at Rockingham. They run 6 races. They run 6 races. He was riding a horse in every one of them. He won every single race.
Wow.
Twice. It's like unheard of. This is unheard of.
Yeah.
That is.
People would bet not the horse; they would bet him.
Bingo.
So it's magic. I mean, what is the magic? I mean, the horse is doing the running.
Yeah.
But he was a horse whisperer before there were horse whisperers.
Well, he just
to get that production out of every mouth.
Yeah. But
amazing.
he was very aggressive too, and he he got hurt a lot. He took crazy risks, and he got hurt young. But Tony Despirito, and I can tell my father, he had when he would talk about him. I think one time my father took me to his grave, and he talked about it like what a regret, what a sad thing. I mean, could he have just saved a little money? Could he have bought an apartment building or something? He blew it all.
Really?
And at the end, he was just ended up right back where he was.
Wow.
That was you had a shot of him on one of the horses?
Yes, Cassie, see the next picture? He was a good-looking kid. He was a good-looking kid. He had tons of women, Cadillacs, women.
Yeah.
But he blew all his money, blew everything.
You die the way you live.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah,
It's a fast life in the fast lane.
Yeah. Tony Despirito. Yeah, we'll.
That's a great show.
We'll have more on him at another episode. What else do we have here? Do you recognize that, Joe?
The tuberculosis
That's the
hospital.
That's the
It was on, what's that street? 114. It was right after there's a gas station on the right. There's a linoleum place, tile.
Oh, yeah.
Spigot River. And you go up the hill.
Near Denrock.
Right.
Yeah.
But before,
Albright Cleaners.
right before Denrock, on the right. Later, they put a Holiday Inn
Yes.
top. But this was sort of like below that.
The Holiday Inn was up the top of the
the
hill.
top part. This was just below.
By Albright Cleaners.
Right, and it didn't last too long. It wasn't there
Oh,
too
okay.
long. It was gone
That would have been in the 40s and 50s, maybe?
before that.
I think probably the 20s, right?
20s, I think it was.
Yeah,
TB.
TB ran through here. It was killing a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think I have an aunt that died of that in
really?
infancy. Yeah.
I used to work at the Lawrence General in dietary in high school. And the manager there, he had TB. His legs, he always walked with it.
After they tore this down, this building, it transferred to the Bessie Burke.
The patients transferred over there.
Yep, on Marston Street.
Oh, the Bessie Burke, yeah.
And then they took that down
Yeah.
later, much later.
Oh, yeah, they're much later, the 80s. It
Yeah.
lasted till the 80s, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I think I got this from the archives.
yeah.
No story attached to it.
Yeah.
He's an Irishman. He owns a pub. He owns a bar somewhere in Lawrence.
Yeah.
And he's got 13 kids. Him and the wife have 13 kids.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, there was no television in those days. You can tell what he was spending his evenings doing. They don't look tired either. They look like they don't look burned out or tired.
Yeah.
They don't burn out, burned out or tired. Beautiful kids. The kids look all happy.
They could have a girls' baseball team with them.
Yeah, they 13 kids.
League of their own, right there.
No, he owned a tavern.
Yeah.
Well, God bless him.
Yeah.
God bless her.
Yeah. Oh my God.
God bless her.
Busy.
What do they call it? What do they call
Irish
it?
twins. Irish, a lot of Irish twins there.
Yeah.
They were playing the poor man's opera.
Yeah.
And the Irish get the knock on that, but almost every ethnic group, European, in that era.
Oh yeah.
Same thing. Could have been the Italian twins, the Polish, the German, the French twins.
Well, I think, the big families were in style back then. I mean, it's, you know.
Even his kids, the Bresnahans, they had 12 kids.
Oh, that's right.
We shared the driveway.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
With them, our house, and 12 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bresnahan.
So with that, I think we'll call it a day, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's it for episode 24. We bid you farewell, bid you well, wish you all the good things in life. Oh, by the way, we want to say thank you as well to our producer, Cassie, Erin in the front office, the Lawrence Archives, all the wonderful people who watch our show, say so much nice things about us. And I guess that'll be it. Fellas?
Yeah.
Yep.
See you next time.
Next
So
time.
long. Bye-bye, everybody. Be well.